Okay, this is two-step equations. So remember you're solving for x, so you need to get x by itself on one side. And remember, when we're solving for x, it's like we're working backwards to find that missing number. And so we are going to be going backwards through PEMDAS. Okay, so I have some examples. I have 8. So let's just start here. Okay, so again, we're working backwards through PEMDAS. So we need to start with addition and subtraction. So here we have subtraction. We have the minus 10. So we gotta add 10 to both sides. So that cancels out to 0. So then we just have 3x on this side. And then we have 12 plus 10, which is 22. Okay. Then we have the 3 times the x, so we got to divide, and then we have x is equal to 22 over 3. And that cannot be simplified more, so that's our answer. Okay, so next one. This is the next one that we have. So here we have addition, so in order to move this to the other side, we need to subtract it. And remember, we have to do addition and subtraction first. So that cancels out to 0 on this side, so then we just have x divided by 5 is equal to negative 33. Okay, I did not make this easy on myself. Okay, so we have x divided by 5 is equal to negative 33. The opposite of division is multiplication. So let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 5. That cancels out to 1, so we just have x on this side. And then this is negative 165. Yeah, and if you need to do the math for that, right? So 5 times 3 is 15, then you add the 1. 5 times 3 again is 15, but you add the 1, so 165. And since this one's negative, the answer is going to be negative. Okay, let's look at this problem. Okay, so I've introduced some fractions, hee hee. So first we need to deal with this addition. So in order to move it to the other side, we have to subtract, right? Because we're working backwards. That cancels out to 0, so on this side we just have negative 3/4 x is equal to negative 9. 2 minus 11 is negative 9. Okay, let me move my hair out of the way. Okay, so now we have negative 3/4 x is equal to negative 9. So we can move this to the other side in just one step, like I showed you with the one-step equations. So if we multiply by this, right, that cancels to 1. And so we just have x on this side. And then if you look, this is like 9 over 1, right? If that helps you out, you can see that this simplifies to 3 and this simplifies to 1 because 3 goes into 9 3 times. So then you have negative 3 times negative 4, which is a positive 12, over 1 times 1, which is just 1. So x is equal to 12. Cool. Okay, now let's go to this one. Okay, so first we have to deal with the subtraction, right? So let's add the 1/2. That cancels out to 0. Add that 1/2. So bringing this down, this side just becomes 6/7 x equals, and then if we look here, we have 3 plus 1/2 x. Well, 3 is just like 6 over 2, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have 6 over 2 plus 1/2. This now becomes 7 over 2. Okay, cool. So now we have 7/2. So now we need to cancel this out on this side and move to the other side. So that cancels out to 1, so we just have x equals, and then on top we have 7 times 7, which is 49. On bottom we have 2 times 6, which is 12. Boom. And we can't simplify that anymore, so that's the answer for that one. Okay. Let's go on to my last few problems. Okay, so these look a little bit different. And so they can be kind of confusing, but let's go over them. Okay, so we have this x plus 10 divided by 3. So remember I said we had to work through PEMDAS backwards, but since this 3 is dividing this entire side, we have to move it first, because you can kind of imagine like parentheses around that top part. We need to move this 3 first since it's acting on this whole thing, and we can't add the 10 because both of these, because this is connected in the numerator. So first we must multiply by 3. So then that cancels out to 1, and we have x plus 10 is equal to negative 45. Okay, now that we are this far, we need to deal with the addition now. So let's subtract 10 off, so that cancels out to 0. So then on this side we just have x equals, and then this is now negative 55. Woohoo! Okay, I have another example problem like this one. So here again, this negative 11 is dividing this entire side, so we have to move that first since it's acting on this entire side. So let's multiply, so that cancels out to 1. And then all we have on this side is x minus 7 equals, and then negative 3 times the negative 11 is positive 33. Okay, let's add that 7 to finish solving for x. So this cancels to 0, so on this side we just have x equals, and then we have 40 on this side. Woohoo! Okay, cool. Now let's look at these two. Okay, so a number in front of parentheses like this means that there's multiplication going on. So in order to get rid of this multiplication, we have to divide out the 3. So that divides out and cancels out to 1. So then on this side we just have x minus 5 equals, and then negative 36 divided by 3 is negative 12. So last step, we just got to add that 5 to the other side to solve for x. And then we have negative 12 plus 5. This is now a negative 7. Cool. Okay, on this side, a lot of my students think this is a subtraction, and so we need to add, but that is not what this is. This is still multiplication because it's right next to the parentheses, so it's still being multiplied, and it's just a negative 4 that we're now multiplying. So we got to divide it out first. So then this cancels to 1, so then on this side we just have x plus 13 is equal to, and then 48 divided by negative 4 is negative 12. All right, and then let's subtract that 13 to finish solving for x. So then we have x equals negative 25.